Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Happy Valentine's, everybody. It is Valentine's Day. As of filming this video, it's Valentine's Day 2026. And that makes it, it's Saturday, and it is Saturday, February 14th. And later on, I will be watching My Bloody Valentine, a great film from the 1980s. Obviously the original film, not the teen drama with some slashing in it, bullshit remake that came out in the 2000s. Sorry, it's not a good movie, the remake. But anyway, today we are not going to be talking about Valentine's Day. We are going to be talking about Friday the 13th. And if you like Friday the 13th, the movies, or at least the good ones, subscribe, comment, like, do all that fun stuff. Help me get up to 1,000 subs. I'd really appreciate that. That would be fantastic. That could be your Valentine's gift to me. But yes, this is going to be talking about Friday the 13th, at least the stuff I have in my collection. It's not a massive collection compared to, like, say, my Leatherface collection, but it's still a fair number of things, and, you know, I don't mind showing them off. And yesterday was Friday the 13th. The movie was playing at the Carlton Cinema, where I frequent quite often in downtown Toronto, but I was just too tired to go to the actual movies to see it. And the last Friday the 13th, they were playing it, and I watched it then. My throat's getting dry. Sorry. But yeah, I watched it then. So last night I stayed at home and I watched actually part two, because part one and part two are my favorites of the entire series. They sort of flip-flop back and forth which one I like best. But anyway, I am going to be talking about showing off some of my goodies here, and we'll get into this. Take off these Valentine's Day glasses. Tuck them over there. Actually, I have to grab something from over there and put on my readers. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, I'll start off with the few box things I have, and then I'll get into the loose ones. I'll get this one out of the way, just because it's sort of on top. But this is my reaction Jason. Gonna get a better look if I cover my hand a little bit. Super 7 figure. I bought this used a couple years ago now at this point, or yeah, I think I've had it for about 2 years now. The mask doesn't come off or anything, but the machete is its own piece. The funny thing is, I didn't even realize I had a machete with it. It came in a little plastic bag, and I saw it was like $8 or $9 something. So I was like, okay. And then I was just digging through my bag one day, and this little machete was in the bottom. I'm like, where did that come from? And then it hit me. Oh, that must have come with the Jason figure. But there is your basic Star Wars-y type Kenner action figure articulation, which is very subtle. But these are display items anyway, so anyway, I'll get that out of the way. Okay, I'm going to start on the bottom, actually. This is Jason Lives, Part 6 figure. Right there, this is the NECA. This is the... I just call them dolls. I know there's more technical term that other collectors call them. I just call them NECA dolls because they're more designed like dolls. And I keep them in the package. Unfortunately, it's aging. You can see it's starting to yellow. And then I remember I got this years ago at a place called Suspect Video. It doesn't exist as a store anymore. It exists online as a store, but the store itself is long gone. And I think originally it was on Queen Street, and there's a fire, sadly, and then they cleaned all that up and relocated and ended up a place called Honest Ed's, a big store, was a Landmark years ago, and then sold the property, and now it's condos like everything else turns into in Toronto. But they had it near there, and when that went, it went. Now they're, as far as I know, they're strictly online. I think they used to host the Horrorama conventions every year, but they haven't had one in a while for reasons. I don't know. They got their reasons, I'm sure. But when that starts happening again, if it starts happening again, let's hope so, because they're a lot of fun, really cool. And I've bought a lot of things there. But yeah, this is that figure. The art on it's really good. And that's the figure on the back, posed. Now the sad thing is, you can see him holding the, that's the fence spike that brought him back to life after getting hit by lightning. You can see that it's supposed to go in there, but unfortunately this one didn't have it, and I didn't notice that when I bought it, or I would have asked for another one. No fault of the store, no fault of Suspect Video. I'm sure it's just a packaging error, and like NECA or whatever sweatshop It was probably packaging. I'm sorry, but facts are facts. But anyway, that was a little unfortunate thing I didn't notice until I didn't even notice when I first got it home. I didn't even really look at it. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And I think I just put some nails on the wall and popped it up there with everything else. It wasn't until a while later when I think I was doing a video I was ranking. I think it was when I was ranking the Friday the 13th videos. If you want to check that out, scroll on down or type Jack Ackman Friday the 13th and I'm sure it'll come up. But anyway, that's when I noticed that. Okay, moving on. I'm going to grab the stool. Oh, ouch. Smash myself in the knee at the same time. All right, next one. This is Pamela Voorhees from part 3. When she jumps out of the water at the jump scare, the final jump scare at the end. Or dream sequence, whatever you want to, however you want to interpret it. But I really like this figure. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, which I'm happy about. It's always nice to get something that doesn't cost too much. And I got this, I know I got this at Treehouse Collectibles in downtown Toronto. And it's a really cool figure. It doesn't really have a lot with it, but the detail on it is really good. You can see the detail in the face. It's got the right sweater and some blood spatter on it. Or actually, that's a hole. The artwork on it is really well done. Really phenomenal artwork. And it just has the figure, because she didn't have any accessories. She just jumped out of the water, pulled the girl out of the canoe. Very much like in part 1, except this was in a river, I think. I haven't seen it in a while. I can't remember. And there's up close and personal of the figure and just a couple little shots. But really well done figure. And the last one I saw in the package is actually my favorite Jason of them all. Sorry, not this guy. Not this version. The Sackhead Jason. I always loved the Sackhead Jason. It's very copied of the Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is it's a very low budget movie from the late 70s. No, you're not jumping up here because I got stuff up here, monkey. Sorry, buddy. When I'm done, you can jump up on the table all you want. But anyway, yeah, I really like this film. I mean, it's I think it's the shortest one in the series. The runtime I think is an hour and 26 minutes, including credits, and the first 10 minutes or so, 8 minutes of the show of the film are just re-showing the end of part 1. You know, for some reason, if you hadn't seen it, I don't know. I think they just did that to pad the runtime, and then you have what was the character's name? Amy. I'm gonna say Amy. I can't remember the final girl from part 1. Her name just kind of escaped me, but also she has like a scene in her apartment, and you know she's only there for the first few minutes of the film, but that really takes up a lot of the time, and then you get into the film, but it is still a good film, or good movie, film. Why am I saying film so much? But it is a good movie, and I do recommend seeing it. And like I said, the artwork on this one too is really well done. I really like it. I like the artwork on these. They really make the piece more interesting when it's up on the wall. A lot of mine you can't really see the artwork. It's just because I have a lot of them like sort of overlapped like this, just for space reasons. But the ones I have actually up on the wall, you can see the artwork, and there he is in the back. And if you want to pause and read that, go ahead, because I'm not going to. But there's the figure right there. Really nice figure, but this is my favorite Jason. All right, moving on. Just a few more. Actually, before I get into the other figures, I'm going to show a couple other things here, a couple DVDs, documentaries, which if you're a fan of the films, these are actually really interesting, really good to watch. A lot of interviews, deleted scenes, that sort of thing. Basically what you'd find on a really good store-bought version, but these are their own things. They're a couple hours long. Okay, this one's 90 minutes, 2 discs. And yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else notable. And this one here is, well, this one's considerably longer because it's 400 minutes. So you do the math. I'm not going to. But these are really good. If you're a fan of the series, these are definitely worth at least checking out. They're really good. And also, if you're a fan, you should check out some of the the fan films. Never Hike Alone, Never Hike Alone 2, Never Hike in the Snow, and there's a whole bunch. I think Never Hike Alone. Tom Matthews came back and reprised his role as. Oh my god, I'm forgetting all the names. I should just wrote them down, but reprised his role as. Well, he started off as from being played by Corey Feldman. I don't know why I can't think of the character's name. Oh my god! But he was in part 4, 5, and 6. But he came back for those fan films. I met him once at a Horrorama convention. Super nice guy, really chill. Did not have a problem with just chatting with people for a few minutes. You know, I was patient. He was talking to someone. He kept looking over at me, and and I wasn't doing anything impatient. I was just like, hey man, I'll wait my turn as long as I have to, because you're a fan. I'm a fan. I want to say hi, but you know, you do your thing, and then I'll do mine. But really, really nice guy. Super cool guy. All right, so moving on. This is the first Jason figure I got. This one here is from. This is from part 4. Took me a second to remember the final chapter, right there. It's got some good detail. It's got different masks and different faces you can put, but I'll take the mask off and take a look at the face there. So another really cool figure. I do like the faces. It's just they're not as iconic without the mask, I think. So I keep the mask on them on the shelf. But and that comes with the Pamela Voorhees headstone right there. So changes light a little bit bright, but yeah, right there. But like all NECA and McFarlane and all the other cool stuff that's out there, there's a lot of detail put into this. So move him here now that I've moved his legs, and it's going to make things real fun trying to put him back on the shelf. And then I got this one here. This is another version of the part 6 one, also by NECA. It's detailed, and unfortunately when I took it out of the box, the fence spike broke in half. The tape was on there snug originally. I tried to glue it, but it wouldn't hold. It's very, very brittle. A lot of the accessories that NECA puts out, probably the other toys too, the other companies put out, the accessories are kind of like flimsy, very breakable. You have to be super careful with them. But anyway, that's part 6, the same one as, I'm not going to dig it out here, it's on the bottom. But this one comes with the fence spike. The other one didn't. Well, it was supposed to. And then there's this face under the mask. Really well detailed. And also with this here, which makes it interesting, is he's got this knife here. It looks very reminiscent of a knife, my big hunting knife. I'm not a hunter, but I have a hunting knife. But the knife actually comes out, and it does look a lot like the knife I have. Also looks a little bit like the knife from Scream. But yeah, that goes back in there. And lastly, we'll go to my favorite of the figures I have. This is from part 8, I believe, is the New Blood. I know it's the New Blood. I'm trying to think if it was part 8. Really awesome figure. Comes with quite a few things. Anyway, sorry, got distracted by a message from someone I don't like. Popped up on my screen here. But it doesn't really hold on to this very well, so I got to be very careful how I balance it when I put it on the shelf. But like, this is so detailed. Like, look at that. Look at all the bones and everything in there. The rattiness of the clothes. Like, this is such a really well-made figure. Like, just look at even in the legs. See, like, the bones coming through the skin, the kneecaps, even in the hands. So it's a little blurry, but you can. It's clear enough. You can sort of see what's going on. Like the chain around his neck, and it's a loose chain too. And it's hard to tell sometimes, but Oh no, it's plastic. I thought maybe it was metal too, but it's its own piece. The bones, like look at all the detail in the back of this figure. Like it's just unbelievable. And then of course you have the 18-inch one, which I don't have any of those. Number one, they're expensive. Number two, I really don't have the space for them because if I did, I'd probably have a few of them. But it looks just like this, only 18 inches tall. So I don't know which one's more impressive to have it small and trying to do all the intricate details compressed like that, or on a larger scale one that's about 3 times the size of this and then still doing it. But either way, it looks really good, and this is such a good figure. This is definitely my favorite one I have on the shelf. And then we'll do a little unmasking here. And then there's the face. The face. This is actually one of my least favorite Jason faces when he's unmasked in the films, but it still looks really good on the figure. Very well detailed. But anyway, that's my Jason or Friday the 13th stuff. Besides the movies, I did a whole video about the movies a couple years ago. Like I said, you can scroll down if you're bored, you want to check it out. You know, you can like that video too. Comment on that one as well. Be really cool. I do have other characters, like not characters, but other slashers. I mean, my Gunnar Hansen collection, my Leatherface collection is considerably larger than this, but it's also my favorite horror film of all time. My Michael Myers collection, I have probably about four or five. I don't know how many I have, but I don't have a lot because the Michael Myers characters aren't as interesting in appearance because they look the same through all the films. There's got to be one on here, right? Yeah. So, but the Jason, when you take the mask off, it always looks different. The clothes are a little bit different. You can see in all these, everyone looks very different. Michael Myers, it's just the coveralls, and well, the first film it was the Will Shatner mask, and then later on it just sort of they're making their own mask. One sort of looks like Justin Long if they took a Justin Long mask and did to it what they did with the Shatner mask, and then it just kind of looks. It does not look at all like the original mask, but anyway, Friday the 13th, sorry, Halloween's its own thing, and it's a choose your own adventure series at this point. But anyway, this is about Friday the 13th. If you watched this all the way, if you're a fan of the series, if you got some NECA toys of your own, or I don't know why I keep saying NECA, these are all NECA except for one, but if you have some toys of your own collectibles, and you want to talk about them in the comments, tell me something I should be keeping my eye out for to add to my own collection. I'd really appreciate that. Oh, and I forgot to mention this that's also from Jason Lives. That's his tombstone. Kind of forgot to mention that. But anyway, they're together. Not really. But anyway, yeah, if you want to comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And I'd really appreciate that. So I guess until the next one, bye.